What do you love?
What do you love? We really do. I told my kids that this weekend they need to come down and record new ones. So that's what do you think about?
I won't do it this weekend. Tomorrow I'm leaving to go up to Virginia for my anniversary weekend with my wife. The anniversary was on the 6th, but we specifically I do a gig on Sundays, but this Sunday they're going to be gone. So we planned our weekend this weekend to go up. But yeah, I need to get my kids to record. How do I participate in
not that one. It's what do I think? What do you think about?
You click the green box. Why is the green box by how do I?
I don't know. I told you it was what do you think about, but we can do how do I. That's fine. You already read it.
Joe. Your box is not there.
You're right. It wasn't.
You are being distracting on purpose. And you're really late to the table with this stupid meme. What do you think about the Roman Empire? Now, come on, Joe.
You're right.
Comes a day. Do you think about the Roman Empire?
So I put it in there because of the meme, but I really don't think about the Roman Empire. But what I do actually, and I realize that this isn't what it says, but what I do actually think about more often than I ought to is medieval times and the honor that, at least my perception, and I'm sure that it wasn't all like this, but the honor that people had, like your word meant something back then. Whereas nowadays, can you take anyone at their word? And so that chivalrous spirit that existed in medieval times. So I know it said, what do you think about the Roman Empire? And I only put that as a meme, but I really don't think about the Roman Empire all that often. But I think about medieval times more often than I probably ought to.
Because what I'm about to say is based on this, because of you can look back going up through the 80s, going up through the 90s, coming to the 2000s, the 2010s, right? There's always something that somebody goes, well, you know, back the inevitable back in my day.
Back in my day.
I grew up through there too. That is not how that was, because humans are always humans. So I said that to say this: nothing ever mattered. Nobody, you can trust anybody's word as much as you can trust it today, because people have always been human beings since the dawn of time. Now, the only thing that might have changed is some consequences for your choices. But feudal Japan was all about honor. Yeah, why did they have Ronins then? Because Ronins were the dishonorable samurai, the masterless samurai. There's always been dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. There's always been dishonor in this world. We romanticize all of it. I like today. I think about today. And Joe, I said I'd be there at CheddarCon. I showed up. I had Slurpees with you. You can always stand on that word.
unless you say you're going to mail something.
Okay, no, I never said I'd mail it. I always said I would try to mail it. So I actually stood up to my word. I just never executed on mailing things. Yeah, I do feel bad about that, though. I really do. I have some Squirrel Squads, Squirrel Squad 3D prints somewhere that I know Barry got his and Joe got his because they came and found them at my house and took them. But yeah, I feel bad about that. So no, but look, see, I don't break my arm. I can pat my back all day long, baby. Who's got 2,000 loves and stuff? This guy.
So what do you think about the Roman Empire?
I think conquering the world can make it better. How you like them apples? The Roman Empire.
Not with you in charge.
All right, let's rewind a little bit here, Joe. Before I was in charge of your entire life, you were sad, alone, barely got onto a podcast with Bo York, and now I'm taking you to conferences everywhere and showing you the good life. So I don't want to hear it, baby. I do not want to hear it. But the Roman Empire, right? The sun never set on the Roman Empire, right? That was the thing. They brought roads, they brought waterworks, they brought a lot of the basis of a lot of modern architecture, structures, science, infrastructure, and they brought a lot of bad with them. A lot of diseases, a lot of bad human practices, human trafficking. They didn't invent slavery, but they were really good at it.
Yeah, slavery's been around forever, basically.
Yeah, and that's not a throwaway of that, but I'm saying when I think of the Roman Empire, I've always I think out of the two of us, I might be the only one who did it, but I've actually walked on Roman roads, and that was interesting. And it was when I went to Israel, and we got to see some of the parts that Rome had done there, and this and that and other. It was really kind of cool. But honestly, I think of Gladiator the movie. I think of
Okay.
Spartacus, right? The TV show, which was what they got. It's basically okay. I understand it's a PG-13 show, kids. So just hold on to your underwear. It's not as bad as what it sounds like I'm about to say. But they called Spartacus, the TV show, blood porn, and not in the graphic of naked people doing, which was there, which was not great. But literally, when
Hmm.
they would fight, I mean, the camera would get covered with fake blood, and that's why it's called that. It's just over the top graphic. It was dumb, but there were some interesting things about it. Yeah, are you not entertained? I I think of overreaching. I think of corporations. A lot of corporations are like the Roman Empire, Disney, man. They are. I do not know what this public domain is going to do to them. They've already been struggling with their parks. They've already been struggling with their leadership. They're still kings of the world, but they're struggling. And
Yeah.
when
And
Mickey Mouse
sometimes
hits
kings get
open
stabbed in the back.
A2 Jose, yeah, so it's an interesting thing. Honestly, I don't. I mean, I get it's a meme, and it kind of made me chuckle, but I don't get it. I don't think about the Roman Empire more than I should. I rarely think about it unless I see like gutters, and sometimes it makes me goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, the Roman Empire's aqueducts." They did the roads that angled, and then the water ran off into the fields. I learned about a lot of stuff in school when I was going up through high school that apparently they don't teach that much anymore, which is crazy to me. But
You know who might be thinking about the Roman Empire a bit more these days? Or at least the Greek Empire, I guess. Give me the side eye.
I
Kurt.
extreme side eye. Why, Kurt?
Kurt's been watching Percy Jackson lately. So
Yeah, I just started it. We watched the first episode the other night.
my kids are really liking it. They're really liking it quite a bit.
I got to shove my phone in my wife's face, which is very rare, and that's to prove myself right. But we were watching the first episode, me and my wife and my daughter. The other two, the older kids are working; they have their lives. My middle son, he's 13. No, he's 12, going on 13, and he's got his talent. He likes doing his VR stuff with his boys and all that. He doesn't like to watch TV with us very much anymore. So Zoe, myself, and Aaron were watching the first episode of Percy Jackson, and Mrs. Deeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went, oh,
Dodds.
that's Dodds. So I was making him lovely. And my wife's like, no. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not. And then I'm like, no, I don't like how quickly she said no. And I went, IMDb, scroll. What? Oh, there. Tell what? What? And it was like Megan Mullally for 2 episodes. I'm like, yeah, tell me again. So
With how often I mistake actors for other actors, it makes me appreciate that so many people don't recognize Clark Kent as Superman. Just saying.
So here's the question. Have you watched all of Percy Jackson? The show?
Not this week.
Okay,
I'm
but
not caught up.
you're further up than I am. Okay. Is it just a retell? I mean, I already like the first episode better. I like the
Okay.
details, I like the actors. I think it's really setting up some interesting things, but is it just a retelling of the movie / retelling of the book? Which I mean, I know it's always gonna be retelling of the book, but we watched the movie when it came out. Is it just that in TV form?
The movie took a lot of liberties.
So it's just bringing it back more into line with the book.
Somewhat. The first episode, after the first episode, I would have said yes. But after this latest episode, I think they're going to be pivoting quite a bit. I will see, because I haven't watched the episode from this week yet, the one that came out on Tuesday. So we'll see. In certain aspects, yes, it is a lot closer to the book. A lot of the details are closer to the book, and I don't think it's gonna be like, obviously there are some segments that are gonna be similar to the movie because it's the same story ish.
Yeah,
but
And my wife agreed. The graphics are a bit better. Of course, they're updated, but
Yeah.
and it's not crammed into an hour and a half. They're really going to do more details, so on and so forth. Uh, Interestingly enough,
Yeah.
death is a depixelation apparently in the world, and that's different. Uh,
Well,
but
sort
yeah,
of.
I enjoyed the first episode. I am trying to get through Echo. It's decent. Though there's only 5 episodes in Echo. First 3 were didn't even feel like Marvel. It's weird. Fourth episode, much better. Really, I really enjoyed the first episode. And then
Yeah.
I'm about to do the last one. And then I'm working through
Okay.
What If as well. Oh my goodness. Hello there, Lost Limey. Are you lost, little boy? Because we have you here. And thank you for jumping in, buddy. Did you get to meet Lost Limey at Dragon Con?
Very briefly. Very
Yeah.
briefly.
I tried to jump in and ruin one of his not such a fat guy updates that he does where he's been losing weight. And he turned off the camera like, why would you do that? You let somebody jump. This is good media, man. What's wrong with you? Yeah. But because he wanted his TikToks to actually get viewed. But that's okay.